led an expedition to understand why a primitive alien species was uplifted by another very advanced one. We identified techno-signatures coming from Coryptus 9 almost 3 months ago. Given the breadth of deep space discoveries we have made, it wasn't exactly our priority. Weird, huh? Reaching the point where discovering an alien species is just another Wednesday. Upon closer analysis and attempts at communication, we started learning about them. Coryptus 9 is home to the Corymbari, a civilization which just barely started practicing large-scale organized agriculture a couple of years ago. The signs of advanced technology come from a different species altogether. A spacefaring alien race that calls themselves Namasakwa. Apparently it means unity in their language. They arrived here roughly 62 years ago. In that time, they have elevated the Corymbari in every way imaginable. After initial communication, we were allowed to send a small expedition to explore this world. Us and the Namasakwa allowed each other to decrypt our languages, and I was even offered an AI guide to accompany me and my team as we traveled through Coryptus 9. The Corymbari greeted their visitors as gods. Can't blame them, given the fact that they had just mastered irrigation. Initially, the Namasakwa put them at ease by emitting a sub-sound frequency that calmed them, as to make first contact more agreeable. Over the next few weeks, they started to do things that, in the minds of the Corymbari, only gods can do. Generate rain where there was drought, heal most diseases, control wildfires, make food grow much faster, and control the weather. After they understood the base language model of all 16,329 tribes and small kingdoms, dialogue started. They assured the young race that they only wanted to create paradise for them. They were promised to one day see into the stars. Within 27 years, roughly 89% of the indigenous civilization lived in sprawling urban constructs. These were built around massive Namasakwa ships, which acted as the main source of energy and resource-gathering tools for the settlements. The average lifespan of a Corymbari is 56 years. Just imagine the level of advancement they have seen. And humans thought growing up without the internet and then using it daily in adulthood almost 100 years ago was impressive. Progress in medicine made it so that the next generation, born under this new reality, is estimated to be capable of living up to 140 years. There are no jobs, aside from those some want to volunteer for. I got a comfortable sense of human familiarity from the Corymbari when I learned that roughly 36% of the population opted in to actually work. I guess some of us prefer to have a set goal to strive towards, even in a utopia. Most individuals just relax and seem to enjoy life. At one point, as I was walking through the streets of a large city, one of them approached me as our AI companion was elsewhere. They pointed towards a Namasakwa ship and then to a small rocket held in its hand. It gave me the rock, then left. I just thought of it as a polite gesture. We visited other biomes as well, and saw that the Namasakwa were building various research stations. Our companion told us they were for weather and atmosphere tracking, as they didn't want to change the composition of the atmosphere too much. The AI was quite insistent on this topic throughout our travels. Whenever we reached the ocean, we always saw these massive structures apparently beaming something into the water. We were told that it is a very advanced way of stabilizing surface water tension to generate condensation for optimal rainfall. The Namasakwa's technology overall was very much ahead. When time came for us to return, we met with a Namasakwa delegation. We thanked them for their hospitality and transparency. We asked them why they decided to disturb such a young species, and they were a bit taken back by the question. I told them about indigenous tribes on Earth that we chose not to bother due to the fact that they have been living in isolation for thousands of years. Such a young civilization can be permanently scared by meeting a species that is quite literally a god to them. While communication was possible through sentences, they didn't feel like they understood the meaning of the question. The answer they gave was something akin to bringing prosperity to those that don't know it. They said that, hopefully soon, maybe they can visit Earth and we can visit their home planet, Remathania. I graciously accepted and thanked them again. When we got out of orbit, we could not fly to the Earthbound wormhole faster. We must never again interact with the Namasakwa. Our scans showed strange results when going over biological life. The Coryptus exhibited signs akin to a biological organism like heat dissipation, soft and hard tissue, all of the likes. The Namasakwa always seemed to be filled with a very dense material and nothing else. We first thought it was from their suits, given the fact we got the same reading from their technology. But when we closely analyzed the small rock I was given by a local, we saw it was not a rock at all. It was a piece of them. A piece of the Namasakwa. Not their body, not their ship. These two things are the same. It is just the exterior that is different. Our equipment also learned something else. When we were close to the ocean, we got very disturbing readings. They showed that those beams were effectively electrifying and ionizing the water. We didn't know what for just yet. Lastly, their home planet is not Matahania at all. Sure, they have been there, since we are getting the same techno-signatures. That planet has nothing living left on it except for the Namasakwa. Our ship intercepted sublight frequency waves between Coryptus 9 and a planet called Thorones 38. That planet seems to have an enormous biological organism covering its surface. We get extremely powerful electrical readings from the surface and the atmosphere seems to be very highly ionized. There are no oceans, no vegetation, just this organism. We contained the sample and will isolate upon return to Earth. For the Verne Observatory, this was researcher Artem Solberg.